Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Diamond Ana. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that really does help the channel out. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join the Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos we have going on, all that good stuff. Okay, so we have our Ana here.
I think I've got this, old man.
You're gonna play for Mega? Why?
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective.
And a
A.
gameplay for the big nades and sleeps. Yeah, that's fun. It's what I'm hoping for. So we're choosing to play back here, which isn't my absolute favorite. I see very little reason to, I mean, not very little reason, but you're choosing to be here rather than here when you don't know what the comp is. I mean, this is a little better than this, I suppose. Not really. No, I just don't like this. This isn't better than this. Like, you take away your ability to go for off angles for nades by being here. This is super, super conservative. You take away your high ground, once again, for easier nades here, for more aggressive shot options, for the ability to slide over here. Like, I don't particularly like this. But let's see what we're going to do. Let me check. Not right now, because I can't show you guys. There's a parking lot back there, and while I don't mind showing you guys that, I do mind you showing that when you can see someone's front license plate in that parking spot.
Blocked by the dragon.
Okay, so we're here. That nade is never going to get value. What is the belief here? So we're here, and this is exactly the issue I expected. All you can really do from here is heal. This is like such a heal bot spot right here. Yeah, you healed everyone. Congrats. You have zero ability. You have almost zero ability to hit offensive shots, and of course your nades are going to be blocked by your team retreating through here. Like, you forced your team to retreat to here, and by forcing your team effectively to retreat from here, you just can't put any offensive pressure on them. When your team retreats to here, you're now here split from your team in a way that they have easy access to you. I just don't like this at all. I don't. This is better. Even this is better. This is better. Like no, please don't do this. Because so you need to be able to hit nades that aren't just for your friends, who, by the way, are full health and have bubbles. Well, okay, not full health, but like there's no reason to heal, to desperately need to hit a nade on this Reinhardt right now. The other Reinhardt is so far away from him, so is not swinging into him. You can heal him up with shots. He has a bubble, which is unfortunate. And this can't possibly get the other Reinhardt. Like, if your Reins were swinging at each other and you could get his Reinhardt, that'd be better. But that's always going to be hard to do, because you're going to hit your tanks in the back here, as opposed to being able to lead your nades a little bit to hit right in front of them, to catch the front of them and the front of the opponents that are in them. This just gives you so few options by being here. You're done. Check front line. Yep. Okay, now we're going to scoot forward. Works for me. Is your team dragging you forward, kicking and screaming? They are not. They are not. Okay. Why are you challenging this Hanzo again? You're going to play from here again? Okay. This is better. Now the window doesn't threaten you. Funny how that works.
You're going to be okay.
Fine. Much better. See, we have the ability to hit an offensive nade. Now the Rhine is at 40% and naded. This is so much better. I don't think so. Oh no, you did need to there. Okay. Okay. You don't need to be healing your tanks there. You need to pivot to look at the Tracer. I'm not sure why you're closing the angle. You know that you've won this frontline battle hard, so you should be going, hey, let me pivot and look over here. Like, you know that that Tracer's no threat to you over here, whereas you are a threat to your Tracer, and even if you can't hit this Tracer, there's a better chance that you'll be able to hit your Tracer who might want to challenge this Tracer. Not clear on why you're closing the angle. Yeah. Micro mistake, but a
Get
mistake.
back in the fight.
There's your reload, fine. Another shot on Hanzo. Don't worry, if he won't give you a shot, he has the Harmony Orb, you're fine. Nope, too much attention.
My ultimate is fully charged. Get in there.
I'm not sure why you unscoped there. You knew nothing had come through. If you were unscoping, I was expecting the reload because you've been mostly pre-healing here. If you weren't going to unscope, you just wanted to hit that next shot on Rein. You spent a lot of time, and now you rescoped again, hit the shot on Rein, unscoped, reloaded. That was a lot of downtime you created. I don't love this. And the reason I don't love this is that if you look at your team, your Tracer might follow up on this. If you hit this nade, your Tracer might follow up on it and get some work done, but your Tracer does have to follow up into some pretty tough resistance to get this if your nade hits. And your tank line certainly isn't going to be doing anything, and your Hanzo doesn't have an aggressive angle. If your Hanzo was over here, up here, this might be better, but your Hanzo's right here with you. So, like, when they get purpled, if they do get purpled, they're just going to hard shield and peel your Tracer. Like, maybe your Tracer can do some work. You do want to hit your nades. This is okay, but you do want to try to hit your nades when the opposing team is in a little more danger, either from your DPS have better angles, right now only your Tracer does, or your tanks are closer to them. If they're brawl tanks like this, if they're off tanks, it could be, a hog on an angle. It could be an Orisa has softened up their shield enough that she'll be able to do some follow-up. You want to not just hit your nade for the sake of hitting your nade. You do want to get some value out of it. That said, better than not using your nade offensively. So this is good, and maybe your Tracer will be able to get a follow-up. Ended up not being the case, but their Rein is very uncomfortable. He got purpled and discorded, and your Rein at least took space out of it. I think there was very little reason he couldn't have taken that space anyways, but we'll take it. Why are you reloading? Why are you reloading? Five shots? 4 shots? You have 4 shots left. I don't love this reload. And you hit this button after your Zen has taken damage. You hit the reload button after your Zen has taken damage.
I will keep you healed. Get me.
Your Rein is fine. It's cleanup. I know it's cleanup, so I'll be more forgiving of this nade than I normally would be. But the Hanzo is terrifying. It doesn't matter. Yeah, Hanzo can't be terrifying. Hanzo can't be terrifying, but the positioning matters. Like, when I was referring to the Hanzo, it was, hey, Hanzo right behind him didn't make a difference. This Hanzo who the window, yes, was terrifying, but being here allowed the window to not be a threat, whereas being here, the window was a threat. I don't love this nade. I'm going to be more forgiving of it because you're thinking, oh, hey, this is cleanup phase. They're going to get the eliminations. I don't need to look for a good nade. I can just get an okay nade, but not the greatest.
Get me.
Your Reinhardt still had a full shield if he needed to protect himself, which he was using. Where? Okay, you turned around for that, which is weird, but whatever. Where are you going? You still playing here? Fine.
Hello.
I would like you more over here. That window is still, like, a thing, and you know that window is still a thing. Hey, look, damage from the place we expected. Okay, you got your nade out.
I have your back.
And I'm glad that you got your nade out, but again, this is sort of like, are we trying to stop them from pushing with our nade? We're not generally trying to stop teams from pushing with our nade. We're trying to go, hey, we got the nade, so our team can get work done during the nade. And sometimes it's acceptable to go, the work that I want to get done is I want that team to be a little scared as my team rotates forward, but that's not our favorite work to get done with the nade.
This will only hurt for You're powered up. Get in there.
Excuse me? Okay. Your Rhine is at about half health. Another heal on him would be great, but you're going to go for your Zarya first. But your Zarya isn't terrified. Your Zarya isn't terrified because she is behind Rhine Shield and she has a Harmony Orb. Just shoot the shot. Shoot the shot. Still more than 90 health. Still more than 100 health even.
You're powered up. Get
Nope.
in there.
Nope. Didn't need that. Didn't need to do that. You just nanoed a Zarya that was running away. You just nanoed a Zarya that is running away from the fight. They have high energy, and that's good, but they don't have their personal bubble. Now, they won't necessarily need it now because they have the nano, but you nanoed a Zarya that is running away, and the opponents, while pushing, they are not closed in yet. If the opponents were here and you nanoed your Zarya here, no problem. But these guys now get to go, which ult do we think is more valuable? Do we think the Coalescence is more valuable? Or do we think the nano high energy Zarya is more valuable? Maybe we'll just wait out your nano. Maybe we'll just take some space with this Coalescence and we won't push until your nano's over. I don't like this. Okay, they're pushing. That's interesting. Okay. Working on it, AJ. Working on it. Good nade. Didn't get a shot. Okay. Okay. Good. You prioritized the Reinhardt over the Zarya. Good stuff.
It's just a scratch. You'll be
Fine. Good sleep attempt. Why would you scope here? Like, I don't mind you being better at scope shots than hip shots, but this is a weakness. If you feel the need to go for a scope shot here against a target that is a heal target, not a flanker that's mobile, hard to hit, etc., you get the more generous hits on the targets that you're trying to heal, this becomes a problem. This is extra time that you're spending to go for this heal here. Yeah. That should have just been a hipfire.
60 seconds remaining.
It's almost like I've been warning you about that window all game. Here and here are both better than here and here.
You're not getting rid of me that easily.
Team kill.
Glad your team had the tools to win that without you.
30 seconds remaining.
You hear the Hammond.
I see you.
Good.
You're going to live.
Take a shot. Good. Good. Probably wanted to delay that nade just a touch more, if we're being serious. Like, here, let's look at this. I'm definitely getting micro. Here's this.
Go to sleep.
You hit that. So I get what you're going for here, which is you're going for maximum uptime. And maximum uptime, this is correct. As soon as that shot leaves your rifle, you cancel into the nade. And that is correct from a maximum uptime standpoint. But the problem is stickies happened. The Echo just got stickies in here. So I'd actually want you to delay this just a moment. You're still going to get him with the nade, but the nade is going to be here rather than here. And the nade is going to get more healing value on these stickies. Yes, you're going to have lost out on your maximum total uptime for weapon/ability usage because you'll have had to suffer through part of the rifle's delay between shots that you won't be covering with the nade. Your nade will take longer than the rifle's delays between shots, so you'll delay your second shot, but it's still going to be worth it because you're going to heal this guaranteed incoming damage. This is damage that is going to happen here. So yes, you got your uptime back, but this is like 3 heals that need to happen, 2 heals that need to happen. So it's worth it. It's totally worth it to go, no, we're going to explode our nade right here. And even if you only get you in the Hanzo, or you only get the Hanzo, like that's still fine. That's still better from an uptime perspective. Even though technically you don't get your next shot out as fast. And no, Ball was not going to get away at that time, even remotely, because he comes out in weapon mode as opposed to roll mode. Comes out of the sleep, that is. Okay. Where are you adjusting to?
Nano boost almost ready.
They have the Winston. I'm uncomfortable with you being as close as you are. This is better. I don't want you here. They have the Winston that is potentially going to come around and cleave the bejesus out of you.
Enemy. Healing enhanced.
This shot expensive. Yeah, this is you being uncomfortable with hipfire. You're going to need to work on that.
Healing enhanced.
And then that's you because you missed going for the nade, which I don't like. I just want you to hit the shot. Oh well. You do not want your nade to be a crutch for missed shots in general. Like, you will get into trouble. You're going to argue with me and say, no, it wasn't a crutch for missed shots. It was a maximizing uptime. I shot and then I naded and then I was going to shoot again. You're going to tell me it was that, but that's nonsense. You missed the shot and they were almost out of danger. Like, this was a shoot. Okay, settle down, take your next shot type thing, because there's a very good chance that you're still going to need this nade for something better, which is protecting yourself when this duplicate comes around the corner. This duplicate was always going to come around the corner because you can't get up here. There was no way you could get up here. You were going to have to just tightly hug this corner, and you were going to want this nade to protect you and potentially Hanzo when people actually step in here.
You're powered up. Get in there. I wasn't cut out for retirement anyway.
Objective lost. New defense point.
Awesome! I'm glad you're finding the videos helpful. We plan to keep doing more of them. Most certainly. Did we rotate out low ground? Why? Cap just happened.
New defense point.
We have plenty of time to take high ground. Everyone's full health except the Zen. You don't need to walk forward to heal the Zen. Why are you spending so long here? You could have been backing up as you healed this Zen. You could be taking your high ground. You could then be playing from like here, from here. Why are you still on low ground? I hate your positioning. On both first and second now. You have 10 shots. You have 9 shots. That was a worthless shot. Absolutely did not need that shot. There's an echo right there for you to shoot at. Right there. What is... No! No! Not okay. This was your shot. This right here. Little bit of pressure on this echo was really valuable. Little bit of pressure on 200 HP heroes, especially when they don't have pocket mercies, pocket zens. They have to get healed by an Ana. That's kind of inconvenient. That's really helpful for making this echo have to play more passively, more conservatively, do less work. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to reload here. No, you have 8 shots left. This. I can confirm as anime hitting high ground makes your nades easier. Temporal, can we see your outfit? I suppose that was, like I'm wearing shirt, scarf, there you go. Okay. Also, because it's good to keep an eye for as many players in the game as you can. Yeah, high ground definitely helps. High ground wins games. High ground does win games. Okay, back to our Ana who's reloading too much.
Watching your back.
You had 11 shots, man. I know that there weren't any valid shots, but you had 11 shots. You don't need this. And that's not saying you can't use downtime and expected downtime to reload. It's okay to do reloads that aren't 0 shots reload. It's totally fine. But you have to weigh the odds of, I have 11 shots. Is it worth it for me to spend an entire reload animation versus is a shot likely to show up during my reload animation? And if you're missing 1 ammo, it's very hard to justify the reload if there's any chance at all of something showing up. I was wondering when I'd get comments on that. Yeah, this was the original plan for the 1K subscriber special, that we mix a new scarf into the rotation. But you guys were big on the blinds, and who was I to deny you guys? So we have both of these things. New scarf skin, which does not mean that the old scarf skin is retired in any way, shape, or form. We just want some variety to our scarfing. Okay, I got distracted talking about the scarf, so let's go back and see how this initiation actually looked. So there's the storm arrow, or the sonic arrow. That's scary. I'm glad you're respecting the sonic arrow. Oh, is that Echo, who should be missing health, taking an aggressive flank? Bet they wouldn't do that if they were missing health. Okay, this is fine. Literally can't hurt you. Just shoot your Zen. What are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, it's not like wrong to push into Winston Bubbles to get a sleeper innate off here. It's not, but you're right here with your Zen partner. Your Zen was in no danger because you had an easy shot on your Zen. You were further back than your Zen. You had more health than your Zen. Like, I'd have preferred to drag him out of his bubble. You did not need to let him have value here. This is not the play. Okay. This should get eaten. This should get eaten 7 times out of 10. This got eaten. I am glad that this got eaten, because that's exactly what should have happened there. It was way too predictable. I can live with that, Nate. That's fine. How did this happen? You're at 3 shots here. This should be your reload. You should be looking at that full Winston bubble and the 2 purple targets, and you should be going, I only have 2 shots left in my clip. I can't break bubbles. I'm Anna. This is when you should be hitting a reload. Instead, you spent both of your shots, one maybe to try to heal someone that was purple, maybe to break a bubble, and the second definitely into the bubble. You were trying to heal your Zarya, but that was definitely going to hit the bubble.
It's quiet.
Better.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay. To be fair, ult tracking, you should know he had Primal and T-Dove. He dove way too deep. It's a read on him using it that you just have to back up and rotate with your Zen. Yeah, exactly. You need to understand that he was going to pursue you, that you didn't want to push in there for the nade because you were just going to get Primal, and you were going to get Primal anyways. Sleep got eaten, could have maybe saved the Zen with it. Exactly. That's exactly what we were going for. It was too obvious. There was nothing we could do with that D.Va in our face. We needed to wait until the D.Va used some DM or looked away. Like, we donated our Sleep Dart to them. And don't get me wrong, I understand, wait, this feels dangerous. There's a Primaling Monkey and a D.Va in front of me. I've got to get a sleep to save us. But you don't actually. You actually have a little more give. You don't need to feel that much pressure. You can go, hey, I'm okay. I'm still at 200, 180, 150 life. I'm not going to die in half a second. I have a little bit of room to play with. My Zen still has trans if they need that option. You don't want to just donate your sleep dart to the D.Va. You need something, be it her looking away, be it her using a little DM so it goes on the internal cooldown, be it using a little DM so maybe she doesn't have DM left anymore. You needed something before you were willing to spend that sleep right in the D.Va's face like that. And also your sleep was going to want to go on the Primal, not on the D.Va anyways. Most likely. That's not a hard rule. Fine. In a case where you know the other team will be pushing off a jump by Monkey or a team alike, That was weird. In a case where you know the other team will be pushing off a jump by monkey or a dive alike, is it appropriate to watch main and use your anti to stop the main push? Um, Probably not. You probably don't. Well, that's tough. So they're going, hey, we're going to push in with a dive, and you're saying, should I use my nade to stop the main guys while the dive isn't in here? I'm going to say no, because it depends what you mean by the main. Is the main group staying back and poking in? Is the main group actually expected to rotate forward? Because I don't always expect my main group to rotate forward when a dive is happening. So throwing the nade at them is like, aha, now you're scared and you rotate forward. Well, we weren't rotating forward, and you weren't going to get follow up on us anyways because your team is correctly deciding we're going to peel the dive. We're going to deal with the Winston and the Diva that are in here, and let's say Deanna that is out there do her work, unless your Tracer is already pre-positioned to take them down. If your Tracer is pre-positioned to take them down, that changes things. But most of the time, I'd go, no, you're going to have a easier high-value nade on the divers. That'll turn some of the divers purple, heal some of your guys. I'd say you're more looking to do that. By main push, I mean the other members. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Yeah. If you see a ball, do you switch to Sombra or Mei? You can, but Anna has a decent matchup against ball. Like, Anna has a decent matchup against ball. Sombra and Mei work. At this level, Sombra will beat ball pretty hard, but as you go up, the ball players get better at wiping out translocators, finding and wiping out translocators, and calling it and getting the Sombra punished by their team. But that's more an organized play / high GM thing. But, hey. You can, but again, you don't have to. Like, you can play these other heroes into ball. Ball isn't a terror anymore. Remember, ball's gotten 2 nerfs in a row. Lost 25 HP per person for his adaptive shield and got a 25% boop distance reduction. He's not the terror he used to be. If the ball is absolutely carrying, you might want to go to one of those heroes, but you could also go the bigger counters to ball. Brig is probably the hardest counter to ball still. You could say Sombra, but Brig is really, really good at not making ball effective, and having a McCree on your team can help some against the ball too, and McCree is just a character that's tuned above average right now in general. So I don't know that you're going, hey, we need a Mei, we need a Sombra. I probably wouldn't justify the Sombra into a ball in most situations right now. That's not a general thing, though. That's a right now with what's seeing play. That's a very meta-dependent answer.
You're going to be okay.
Reload's fine. Are we going to shoot at the Echo? You tried. It's okay. As long as you tried, I'm good. Yeah, see, and this is an example. You hit your reload here thinking, oh, there's nothing going on. I'm at 9 shots. I can reload. And I understand why you thought that, but look, during your reload, 3 different targets showed up on your screen. You got a 1 health Moira that you could have gotten down. You got an Echo in a spot that you can hit a shot on her, and you had a Winston that you could have hit a shot on. Like, these were all things that happened during your 3-quarter clip left reload.
When you're powered up, get in there.
What? What? What is this? Okay, that Reinhardt still has half or more of his armor left. Still, even though that wasn't a very good fire strike, has half or more of his armor left. Maybe you expected him to be burst down for throwing that silly fire strike out. Maybe that's what you expected. He wasn't.
You're powered up. Get in there.
You're nanoing a Reinhardt that's missing 150 health, maybe? Wow, that was a good call. 150 health and has absolutely nothing he can swing at. Absolutely nothing he can swing at. And this wasn't like a, oh, I meant to nano the Zarya. This wasn't a, I'm split between them. I meant to get the Zarya. I got the Reinhardt. This is not okay. Like, oh, well, they nanoed Winston, so we're going to nano Reinhardt. Who cares that they nanoed Winston? Just keep your Reinhardt in armor range, and the Winston's still not that big a deal to your Reinhardt. No. No. Their Winston gets to do something with this nano. Your Reinhardt is going to stand here inefficiently, ineffectively, not being able to do anything. He's going to walk at the D.Va, and the D.Va is going to go, I'm good, thanks, and either back up or boost up to here or boost up to here. Like, this is... He can't push the backline. What is he supposed to do with this? Okay, nanos. Nanos happen when your tanks are already doing something, when they're already engaged. You don't nano to tell your tank to push in. You don't nano because the other team nanoed. You don't nano because the fight's going on. You nano when your tank is, or your brawly hero. Could be a Reinhardt, could be a Zarya, could be a Reaper, could be an Orisa that's getting pushed, could be a D.Va that's in. Like, you could be your Zen that got dove. You nano when the hero is actually in the fight, actually brawling. Your Reinhardt's taking some damage here, but nothing that you can't heal through. If you're feeling like you're struggling to heal through this, you don't need to give him 50% damage reduction with nano. You can use a nade on him, so you get 50% increased healing received on him. Like, this nano's a way too big of an investment for what this is. You hit your nanos when your Reinhardt can actually do work, if you're nanoing a Reinhardt. Not to tell him to go in, not because, oh, hey, our team is getting pushed, and you did the same thing to your Zarya on first, is why I'm hitting on this so hard. You don't go, oh, we're getting pushed, I'm going to nano. You nano when they've actually been pushed. Not to deter the enemies to push, but when they're actually getting pushed. You get into some weird exceptions, like, hey, we're down someone, they just got a pick, they have 99% of the cap. You can get some weird exceptions, but 99% of the time, you don't nano as a to be like, hey, don't push, or to stop the push. You nano when they've pushed hard enough, or your Rein has pushed hard enough, that they're actually in swing range. They can actually do close range work. This is so painfully wrong. Yeah, I think nanoing Zarya, you would not hear me complaining if Zarya had been nanoed. That would have been okay, you're nanoing the Zarya, who we can see because we have a good Sonic arrow up. The Zarya will be able to immediately make the Hanzo leave if they want. They'll be able to put real pressure on the D.Va, and the worst comes to worst, they're just shooting at a nano monkey. So they're like, hey, I'm shooting at a nano monkey. Zarya has plenty of fine options. Nano on the Zarya, no complaints from me.
60 seconds.
You didn't realize that the Zen had your back, and you just spent too long rotating here. There was very little reason to rotate back to here. This was still a plenty strong angle. Oh well. And yeah, I see there's an echo there, but I don't care. Oh, was something else following you? Where did that come from? Oh, the Hanzo's there. You have the Hanzo here. The echo could be either place. Yeah, okay. Your rotation's correct. With the Hanzo there, your rotation is correct. I was thinking that you were fleeing the thing. You were fleeing because you were worried about the stickies, and I'm like, your stickies are no threat. You got the Harmony.
60 seconds.
You move forward. You saw the Hanzo. Good.
Will only hurt
Right
for a
idea.
moment.
You can. That's a bad focusing beam. You tank that and you finish her. Good. Good. Not the reload. Not the reload.
Will only hurt for a
You have 5 shots left. Your Reinhardt is at 35-40% health. Your Tracer is low. There's something over here, a D.Va. You're still fine on health. You just continue shooting from here. You do not turn around. You do not go, I'm going to turn around because I want to reload. You turned around and looked away from everything because you wanted to give yourself an excuse to reload. That is not correct. You weren't actually behind cover. You weren't actually in a situation where reloading made sense.
You're covered.
Okay, so a heal on your Reinhardt is fine, but there were more interesting things going on here. As soon as you went, my Rein's stable, you needed to think about, but how's my Tracer? Because there was activity going on over here more recently that I'm not sure you knew was over.
I'm in aid.
This one is a ladder game. And yes, it's diamond level.
Go. They're almost out of time. We'll stop them here and now.
Fine. You hit the Tracer. Tracer's got the Harmony Orb, is missing 60 health. You can hit one more shot on the Tracer if you want, but start thinking about offensive shots. That Rhine didn't need anything. No, you taking the shot on the Rhine that didn't need it meant you were done with the Tracer. Because remember, you get 30 health per second out of the Harmony Orb, and it's going to be at least another second before you can, or at least another 0.8 or whatever seconds before you can shoot at the Tracer. So the Tracer will have gotten 30 healing from the Harmony Orb, was missing 60 health, and by the time you actually find it and take your shot and your shot gets to it, it's going to be full health. Like, you did not need this. You should be looking for an offensive shot right now. Because they're there. They're there. They're there. Okay. That's fine. Not a big deal. Why do you think that's going to work? Why is... No. Why do you donate sleep darts to divas? Like, yes, you almost got it outside the defense matrix, but that's just because the diva isn't good enough. Like, you don't want to count on, well, maybe she'll be bad. Like, you at some level have to count at some degree of maybe she'll be bad by going for sleep darts when she's looking away and things like that. Sometimes you're doing that a little bit, but you're purely 100% counting on maybe she'll be bad here and won't turn in time. No.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
Fire at will. في الامتحان يكمل ماتش أو
Okay. I don't mind this life so much. That last life was painful. And this cap is off of your last life going down that easy.
Score.
Yes. More offensive shots would definitely help, especially against the double flyer that was going for a bit there. Okay. So things that we've talked about. We've talked about your defensive positioning and how I have not particularly been a fan of it. We've talked about your sleeps just getting donated to divas. Please wait until she's used a tick of DM and hits her lockout, or until she's not looking at you for a moment. Not like, oh, she's a little bit off of you with the center of her mass, but she's actually looking, paying attention to someone else, like your Zen, like your Reinhardt, etc. Yeah, you're actually going to go down if you don't hit the sleep, like, within the time that it takes to cast your sleep, fine. You can try to throw your sleep, but that's not what was going on here. 200 health, it's not forever, but it does give you a little bit of a window to play with. What else was I saying? We covered both of those in your offensive shots, and your reloads are contributing to your offensive shots, but I can tell this isn't really a reload issue, though it's partially that. It's more of a, you just do not value offensive shots highly enough, and that's behind your positioning going to be the biggest thing here. And we'll see your offensive positioning may be better, so it may be the biggest thing here. Offensive shots, especially against squishies, are very valuable, to the point that sometimes you'll prioritize them over healing. But you're prioritizing reloading over offensive shots, and that's not okay.
I will keep you here.
You have the harmony, you can do it. It's scary, but you can do it. I don't like how long you're hanging here. You don't have to. And your Zarya, you've now had Zarya and Hanzo both give you bodies that you can use to cover your rotation to the right. Okay. Here you are. Your Reinhardt has a bubble. It's scary, but your Reinhardt does have a bubble. You're almost there. You're almost there. This is about to roll over to 12. Your Reinhardt still has a bubble and a little less than half health, and this is about to roll over to 12. If you see the cartridge go in here, Anna's reload animation is complete. As soon as that happens, not the animation is complete, but it qualifies. It qualifies as a reload as soon as this has gone in here. So you want to let this happen if you possibly can. You want to let this happen, and then she'll finish her reload animation, but instead of her finishing her reload animation, that's when you throw the nade. You throw this nade just a little bit too early. You don't have to wait a second. You have to wait like less than 1/10 of a second from this point that you're at to complete your reload. Not to complete your reload, to get your reload to count. And then you get rid of the second half of the reload animation, but your reload is already counted and you've covered it with a nade. So you're so close here. And if you're thinking, no, I need to throw the nade now because if I don't throw the nade now, my Reinhardt is going to go down. I totally get the thought process, but be serious for a second. And what I mean by that is if your Reinhardt is in such a situation where you have to throw this nade when you're 1/10 of a second away from completing your reload or he's going to be eliminated, is he then going to last the second, 0.7, whatever? Is he going to last your reload time for you to get to your next reload and then shot? The answer is almost certainly no, right? It's not 100% no, but it's almost certainly no. So if you can't afford this nade, he's probably just, if you can't afford to wait the 1/10 of a second for this nade, he's probably just gone regardless. Because even if you save him with the nade, you then won't get the next shot off before he goes down. If you can save him with this nade, you've then saved half of your reload animation and you get to send your next heal into him. You go, hey, I hit him with the nade, I get what counts of my reload. I hit him with the nade. I hit him with 2 shots. I hit the D.Va with a shot. I hit him with another shot. And then I hit the D.Va with 2 more shots and she leaves. And that's how you'd play this fight. And it would be beautiful. It would be excellent. Okay. You see how you just had to redo your reload there? Yeah. And let's show you what a real reload looks like so that you understand that better. So here's this. You go here. And you just canceled it because I didn't pause in time. And now you have to do a real reload. And this is real. We haven't even seen the cartridge yet, and this reload counts. You see how you're back up to 12 there? You see how that goes? So, okay, it's not the cartridge. My bad. I was misremembering there. But you see how much earlier you were so close to your reload counting. This is just a moment from counting, and it gets canceled. And just to put it in perspective, here we are. This is just a moment from counting. This is the same spot. And we're there. And then, even after being there, now you can actually use your weapon again. This is the point at which you could actually use your weapon again. So you guys saw that distance in time. Yes, I was going at 0.25 speed so that we could really exaggerate and show it, but I did the whole reload at 0.25 speed. So you saw what percentage of the reload that was from when the 12 happened to when we were actually allowed to use the weapon again. And it's a fair amount of time that you can cut, and you had to go through that whole reload again because you canceled just a tiny, tiny bit too early. It's the mag on the bottom. Thank you. With the 12, yeah. Okay. Yes, she can. It's the mag on the bottom with the 12. Yeah. No, I mean, you can see this. I thought I remembered that you got animation feedback here, but I was wrong. You do get this. I thought you also got animation feedback here, but I was misremembering someone else's clip. That's fine.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay, he's fine. Check to your left. Good. Check back. Unfortunate. It's too far. I totally get what you want to do, but your Zen is gone at this point. You need to check back on how this is going. How's your front line doing? Why is your Reinhardt still alive? Huh. Yeah, that should have happened faster. Thank you, Blah. Thank you.
Touchdown.
Oh yeah, it is the part on the bottom. I just saw it right there. Thank you.
I've seen it. You're going to live.
Yeah, it's the part on the bottom.
Go. I'll keep you here.
I was thinking soldier's weapon. That's what I was thinking.
Nano boost is ready to deploy.
Mm-hmm. These have not been good rotations from you. So your positioning is going to be a bigger issue than your lack of offensive shots, but...
Old soldiers are hard to kill. Get back in the fight. My ultimate is fully charged.
So-
Get in there.
This team is actually pretty far back. You want to be pushing through while your Reinhardt is pushing through. That is your cover. If the Reinhardt defending team was right here, you might not want to. But with the defending team back here, you wanted to push through when your Reinhardt was pushing through. Not his shield, though his shield is some cover for you, but his shield is unreliable. But his physical body was cover for you to go, I'm using this to get into here. That's what you wanted to do. You don't want to just wait at this choke.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I mean, yeah, this is what happens. You're thinking that your Reinhardt being up here, your Nanoblade and Genji being up here is going to pull eyeballs this way, and it will, and that will make it somewhat easier for you to rotate. But the best rotation, because the team wasn't holding right here, was when your Reinhardt was going through, because his shield and his body, and the Zarya's body, and the Zarya's bubble, give you the best cover you're going to get through this spot.
The objective is mine. Be quick about it.
I don't follow Bloom. Is the stream on life support? Are you getting loading latency? Because it says excellent connection on my end.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay, they are still poking at you from far away. You still want to rotate with your team. Rotate with the Reinhardt. You're already too late. At least catch the Zarya bus. What are you doing? Why are you still back here? Do you want the monkey to jump on you again?
60 seconds.
The objective is mine! Join me if you will!
Walk it off.
Okay. Mm-mm. You were never going to hit that sleep dart. Like, that was a way of reach. Okay, hit some hip fire shots, good. Fine, pressure him. Now leave. Good.
30 seconds remaining.
Why are you just waiting in the choke? Don't stand here. You can rotate to here if you want. You can try to push forward to go, hey, I have to take space and we're going to keep this space, even though we're down people, but don't wait in the choke. Okay. I do not like where you're hanging out, in general.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine. Die here. It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Discorded. You hit the shot. Oh no, you missed the shot. It got DM'd. Okay.
Die here.
10 seconds
So Zen was 1 health. I understand it. I don't know why you expected it to not get DM'd, but at least you tried to throw it down.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Overtime.
You're powered up. Get in there.
You're not missing meaningful health. I'm totally okay with throwing a nade here. I'm totally okay with throwing a nade here. I'd potentially be more interested in saving this nade for one more shot and going, can I go shot? Will he live for me to get another shot off that I can then turn into a nade reload like we just talked about? But even if that's not what you're going, I don't want the nade into the Zen's butt. I want the nade in front of the Zen so that it has a chance of getting a Tracer or a Reaper that are or a Tracer or a Pharah that are coming in to get my Zen. So it's not purely a heal nade. It has a chance of catching a Tracer that's coming in for the finish because you're only missing 1 health. You don't need this nade, or you're missing 4 health. Same thing.
Get me. That's much better. Men.
Thanks, Semitic. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, I thought it was fine on my end too.
Victory.
Absolutely. There's absolutely an argument for nanoing Zen. Let's see exactly when did we use our nano.
Overtime.
Here's this.
You're powered up.
There's
Get in
totally
there.
an argument for nanoing our Zen here. Now, it's probably too early to nano our Zen. Like, the thing is, our Zen is fine right now, so we look at this and we don't do it. If we hadn't used our nano on our Rein right here, right now, there is totally an argument for nanoing our Zen. There are 2 people on our Zen, and our Zen is the most vulnerable, most likely person to go down, so nanoing him heals him back up from the initial damage from their mini dive, we'll call it, and gives him damage resistance that they don't want to have to punch through, so they have to decide, do we punch through the damage resistant Zen, do we go after the Reinhardt, or do we go after the Ana? What you're probably going to do by nanoing the Zen is force them to go after you, but that's still better than them being on the Zen. I don't want to pre-nano the Zen, because they're not on the Zen yet, and that won't put them on the Zen, and if I pre-nano the Zen, they're just going to go, yeah, well, our initial move is going to be on you. You follow? So, like, there's not enough value in pre-nanoing the Zen. The nano on the Reinhardt was okay, but nanoing the Zen here as soon as there's any attention on him, if we still had the nano, absolutely valid.
Get me. Men.
Okay, so that's clearly that. That's clearly the round.
Get me.
And let's get here.
This will only hurt for a minute.
Okay, so the biggest things that we're going to get to for you are your positioning. Please do not exist in chokes as long as you do. If you want to hang back a little bit when the opposing team is holding close and your brawl team, your brawling tanks are pushing into their brawling tanks, totally fine. You let your brawling tanks push them back a bit and then you rotate in. But if they're holding back here with a bunch of poke DPS, a bunch of dive DPS, they're not right here, or even if they're just on dive DPS, poke DPS in general, you need to rotate with your tanks more. That gives you the best protection. That gives you the best cover. It's better than the distraction you get from your tanks going in up here. It's better safety to rotate with your tanks than to go, I'm going to use the fact that they're in here. Against a brawl team, totally get it. You don't want to be caught in the cleave. That's fine. Let your brawl push them back. Their brawl isn't going to retreat super fast, so you're going to have time to push up behind your tanks. That's much less true when there's divers and poke involved. Defensively, we talked about this. Please stop getting Hanzo through the window. Please stop getting Hanzo through the window. This was better. This would be better. On defense, this is a pretty good spot. This is a spot. You end up here. Sometimes you end up here after respawn. Sometimes you end up here as the fight goes on. Sometimes you just decide this is the right place to be based on the level of poke that they have. But to start, I would have liked you up here. If I recall, when we started, they were not on double poke. They were on... They were not on double poke. They were on, I don't remember exactly what they were on. But I'd like you to start up here, especially when you had plenty of time before that first push to get up here. If you then end up down here, that's fine. It happens. There's totally legit reasons to play down here. There totally are. As the match went on, you got to more legit reasons to be here. Still want you to start up here. It's also going to give you an easier time challenging out their Echo, their Pharah, all that jazz. Okay, so that's your first thing, and that's going to be your biggest thing. The next thing I want you to work on is I want you to look for more offensive shots. It's a big deal. You are getting a very, very small percentage of offensive shots. Part of that is you're not looking for them, but part of it is you just have not prioritized them some. You're not even to the point where I need to tell you, hey, sometimes you need to hit the offensive shot instead of the shot to heal someone when two people are both missing health, an opponent and your friend, and you go like, hey, that Pharah is in 1 or 2 shot territory, your tank still has 300 health left, please take the shot at the Pharah. Like, we're not even to that territory. We're to the territory of please remember offensive shots exist, and please remember that you would rather take offensive shots than reload. I don't care if there's 6 shots in your clip, 4 shots in your clip. If there's an offensive shot there, that is better than reloading. And if you think there's going to be an offensive shot during part of your reload, it's generally better to go, let me wait for this offensive shot before instead of reloading. As your clip gets lower, that becomes less true. But when you're at 11, 10, 9, 8, 7 in your clip, that absolutely becomes true. Okay. We could talk more about some of your nade stuff. We could talk more about your sleep darts. Sleep darts would probably be the next place that I'd go, but I'm not going to. I think those two are enough for you to work on. I want you to focus on one of them, specifically your positioning, and spend games adjusting it. And I gave you specific spots for your defense, but on your offense, that's pushing with the rotations and understanding how pushing with your rotations changes depending on what the enemy team is running. So that is not a map-specific thing. You can incorporate that on all of your offenses, on all of your pushes when you're playing Ana across all of the maps in Overwatch. So please work on that first. Make the adjustments, make the changes. Once that sticks and you really feel like you've got it, and it's part of your habitual Ana playing, it doesn't require brain power from you anymore, you just do it correctly, then move on to working on, now I'm going to spend 15% of my brain power actively looking for offensive shots. Are there offensive shots that I can find here that provide value, that are not causing me to miss out on a ton of healing on my team? Okay, I hope that helps. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that really does help me out. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, and I'm really happy about that, but we are not stopping. We are climbing to the moon. That's not quite how that goes, but hey. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what rates look like, see what sort of promos, events we have going on, all that good stuff. If there's any questions, let's take a look. We talked about the Nano. I don't see any more questions. I think we're probably good here, so I am going to call it here for now. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.